Entrepreneurs find shit that's broken and then they fix it. Driven Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. I was having lunch with a client the other day. He's a very successful entrepreneur, business owner, property developer, and he said something to me which really made a lot of sense, and I wanted to talk a lot about it, especially if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur. And what he said was that entrepreneurs are somebody who consistently finds things that are broken and fixes them. Now, it was such a great way of thinking about things because anyone out there who is a business owner or you're more entrepreneurial in your personality, and some of the people who are listening to this aren't so much an entrepreneur, but they might work in a business and almost act as though they are the business owner. And those people are normally great in management positions because they might not want the high level of risk of owning a business, but they do operate almost like a business owner, and they are absolutely fantastic for businesses. It made me really think a little bit about why so many business owners are stressed out. And a lot of it can come down to the idea that they're always surrounding themselves with problems and there's always shit that needs fixing. But at the same time, that's the thing that they love to do. So I know I'm very heavily entrepreneurial and I love to fix things that are broken in my business or things that don't work. And so I'm consistently looking for things to be better, which then allows me to have this mentality of consistent and never-ending improvement. The challenge can come though that if you don't control that need and want to fix things and make things better, then over time you might just stress yourself out because you think everything's fucked, everything's always broken, I can never get on top of fixing everything. But at the same time, you don't really want to get on top of everything because that's the thing you enjoy doing. So if you are one of those people, it's almost like your values. And this is why I talk so much about values at our Thrive Time event and also at our business and leadership events, because your values create your insecurities, but they're also the thing that fulfills you. So my highest value is connection, and then followed by teaching and learning. Now I'm always thinking about my relationships and people that I'm surrounding myself with, and whether I'm behaving appropriately, behaving inappropriately, doing things that are pushing people away from me, whether I'm doing things that are bringing the wrong people towards me. And so I'm consistently thinking about human behavior because of my real high value on connection. I also love learning and teaching. That's my second highest value. And so I consistently love learning and teaching all different areas, but especially in the area of human behavior and a lot of the sciences that relate to human performance or human optimization. Now, where can this become a problem? Because I don't feel a lot of the time like I'm good enough. And I might not feel like I'm good enough in the area of teaching, but I might also feel like I'm not good enough in the area of learning. And so it's something that I've had to learn to control. It's a very, very fine line between being insecure and doing nothing, or being insecure and trying to fill that void with the thing that I actually love doing, which makes me better. I also have this in the area of physical exercise because I do also have a high value. It's my fourth highest value is in exercise, physical movement, and physical appearance. So a lot of the time I feel like I'm not fit enough, I'm not strong enough, I don't look a certain way, but that insecurity that used to really make me feel like shit, now I know that it forces me to go and look after myself. So when I start feeling insecure in that area, it pushes me to go back to the gym, it pushes me to exercise, it pushes me to create some sort of a routine in my life where I'm consistently exercising, looking after my health, looking after my fitness, looking after my appearance. Because if I didn't have that insecurity, I just wouldn't give a shit. And if I didn't give a shit, that means I wouldn't look after that area, or I wouldn't grow that area, or I wouldn't learn in that area. So in our values, there is this very fine line. It's like a tightrope that you're consistently walking on. And some days you might fall off to one side where you feel really insecure and you feel like you're not good enough and it makes you feel really down and shit about yourself. But then there are other days where you fall the other way and you'll start to notice that you feel a little bit down about that area. So then it causes you to act. And when you act fulfilling that value, you actually feel really good about your life because it makes you feel like you're improving in that area. Parents consistently feel like this as well. If you've got a high value on family or your kids, you might sometimes think that you're a really shitty parent, and then other times you might think that maybe you're not good enough as a parent, which then it forces you to go and learn or adapt or grow or connect with your kids or your family. And when you do that, you actually feel really fulfilled. Both sides have insecurities. It's just one causes inaction and causes a mental and emotional shutdown or a lot of distress, and the other side creates this eustress or this empowering stress where it forces you to grow and it makes you feel really good because you are growing in that area of your life, and so it's improvement. It's something that you really do need to manage. And so coming back to the original talk this morning where I was talking about how if you're an entrepreneurial type person or you're a business owner, you might consistently be surrounded by problems, but the thing that you actually love doing is solving problems. So therefore you'll consistently find problems in order to solve them so that then you feel good. If you don't manage that, it can become quite overwhelming and you can become shut down. You can be one of those people who might go to work today and then you feel like having a drink after work, and then after a while you're almost becoming close to an alcoholic where you need to drink every night in order to balance out your emotions, or in order to stabilize your emotional states, or in order to stabilize the chaos in your mind, because you might feel like you're consistently overwhelmed with problems. Instead of seeing it as a benefit that you love to solve problems, you just need to manage that better. And so it all comes down to management. It's really important to understand that the things that are important to you in life are an insecurity. That insecurity needs to be managed because our insecurities cause us to act and to become better, but they can also cause us to shut down, to become overstressed, to become overwhelmed, and just go into meltdown mode. And because a lot of people don't know how to manage their stress and they don't know how to manage their insecurities, they just shut down, distract themselves, become emotionally distant, and none of those things help you to have a better life. So it's just managing those insecurities. I talk a lot about this at our Thrive Time event. If you haven't grabbed your tickets for that, you can go to our website, which is www.themojomaster.com.au. It's our very last event for the year. If a lot of the stuff in this podcast that you've been listening to over the last 6 months or a year or however long you've been listening to this podcast, I don't even think it's been going for a year yet. It might be 5-6 months. I can't remember even how many episodes I've done. If you are listening to this and you are enjoying this, I highly recommend grabbing your ticket to Thrive Time, especially if you are someone who wants to get out there and you want to achieve a lot more in life, because we really do focus a lot on dealing with these insecurities and making sure that your insecurities create a lot of your drive and your ambition and your growth, instead of using it as a way that overwhelms you and then leads to things like emotional shutdown, self-sabotage patterns, procrastination, and destructive behaviors that stop most people from living the life that they really want to live. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was just something that I was thinking about after having that chat with my client the other day, and where he said that entrepreneurs just consistently solve problems, and then once they solve a problem, they go on to the next problem and then the next problem. It really made a lot of sense to me, and I'm assuming that it'll make a lot of sense to a lot of you out there who are listening to this as well, especially if you are very entrepreneurial, or whether you're intrapreneurial and you work in somebody else's business, but you still have that entrepreneur mindset, just not wanting to take on the same risk as most business owners. Anyway, I hope that helps, Driven Mofos. Remember, go and grab your tickets for Thrive Time. You can go and grab one from www.themojomaster.com.au. This is our last event for the year. It comes with a money back guarantee. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I use the tools that I teach in that event at least every second day, if not every day, because they are so important, especially if you want to perform at your peak and you don't want to have a lot of self-sabotage patterns, destructive behaviors, getting overwhelmed with stress, frustration, having all these emotions and shit come up that you can't control, the mental chaos. I show you how to control all of that stuff so that you can consistently improve your life. And should you keep implementing those tools, just like a gym for your body, it's a gym for your mind. If you consistently implement those tools, you'll consistently get more toned. When I say more toned, you'll have a more toned mind. You'll have a stronger mind. You'll have a more powerful mind. You'll have better mental endurance. You'll have better mental flexibility. All of the things that you can have in your body if you're training effectively in the gym, you can have in your mindset as well, because really Thrive Time is an event that is like a mental gym. And it comes with a money back guarantee, because I'm 100% sure that it works, and it really works to help people to become so much better than they really believe that they have the capacity of becoming. I mean, after doing that event, if you keep implementing those tools over a couple of years, the life that you have now that you dream of, that dream won't even be the dream anymore. It'll be so much bigger, because you'll be able to think better and you'll be able to perform at such a greater level. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket yet, make sure you do grab your ticket to that event. This is our last event for the year, so go check it out. Anyway, have a great day, Driven Mofos. Keep pushing hard, keep achieving, and I will see you back here on the next episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur.